right there to try to spark something was the right idea. It was defended well by the Carmel secondary. And now we have a 3rd and 7 coming up.
And Gremmel trying to get a first down, unable to really make much progress in this game. Carmel bringing the heat, and he's able to escape the pocket though.
He's going to go on the run, try to get the first down. It looks like he will. Great play there by Grant Gremmel.
And Nate Fry able to knock him out of bounds eventually, but not before they picked up the first down that time.
Chains will be moving, and Noblesville keeps this drive alive. 8:14 to go in the second, and it's been a lot of almost, you know. If Carmel would have just taken advantage of those 2 red zone opportunities that they had, it could be a 14-0 game, but right now we're sitting at 3-0.
And now Nobles will set up with a new set of downs, getting closer and closer to that midfield mark. They have spent 0 time in Carmel territory so far in this game.
That's right, and Gremmel now coming up into the shotgun has 1 man out left, 2 out right, but that won't matter because the Noblesville's going to take a timeout, and another timeout taken by the Millers. You do want to use up all 3 before the half, but still seems a little bit early to get into that.
And game planning on both sides, Jackson. I mean, what's Noblesville got to do to get their offense going? I mean, passing's not going to be an option so far. Running seems to be running into a wall. Where else do you go?
I think you run, I mean, obviously you run your offense through Grant Gremmel, but I think you really run everything through Grant Gremmel. He's had some throws, just like we saw that deep one not too long ago, that have been just a little bit off the mark, but he's close and he's explosive when he's on the run. I really think that if Noblesville can just kind of find a formula with a balance of throwing and passing, not being reliant on too much, and they can just get first downs and take a slow, methodical drive and really work the Carmel defense to the point where they get tired, that's where they can really take advantage. They just need to make sure that they keep the Carmel defense out on the field for as long as possible.
And doing a good job with that now. I mean, able to pick up their first down in a while. And now you see Gremmel back in shotgun once again, sitting on their own 34-yard line, trying to get something going.
Gremmel with a low snap decides to pitch it over to his man. Has a little bit of space, but that's going to go nowhere. Going to be a negative play there. Good job by the Carmel defense.
And almost like a targeting missile, Bo Robbins followed that ball throughout that whole play. You thought he was going to get the quarterback, but as soon as he pitched it, he still chased down the running back and was able to get him from behind.
That was Christian Collier there on the run with not much of anything.
And now the Greyhounds looking to stuff him once again.
Interesting setup here for the Millers, going with 5 wideouts. Gremmel's going to go on the run himself, though. Going to come to a quick slide for about a 5-yard gain. And maybe that setup was just to throw the Greyhounds off guard and give Gremmel some space. If so, good play call by Jason Simmons.
I mean, Gremmel's the special sauce of this team's recipe. He has to be moving constantly, and if they're unable to predict whether to sit back and watch for a pass or blitz him and try and pressure him, then Gremmel's just going to torture this defense.
Definitely. 3rd and 5 coming up. This is a big 3rd down. The Greyhound defense wants to get off the field, let their offense get back out there. And it's going to be a quick snap. Going to be a flag, though. And it looks like it's going to be a false start against Noblesville. Going to make it a little bit harder here at 3rd and 10. And if you're Noblesville, you can't be making those mental errors.
Moving them back once again. I mean, mental errors, vocab word of the game, Jackson. Everywhere you see, every possession, everyone's making mental errors, and it's just making this game look a bit sloppy at this point.
It really is, and you know, if you think about the possibilities of what would happen if you take those out, I wonder what the football game would be like right now. And nonetheless, Noblesville just made their 3rd down attempt a whole lot more challenging.
And 3rd and 10. Gremmel's got to have to run for a bit more if he wants to pick up this first down, but Carmel looks like they're showing blitz, but it's going to be a small blitz, only sending about 1 linebacker, but he has nowhere to go.
Gremmel brought down there by Alex Brown Baez, and Gremmel saw that there was nothing out there to throw for, made a couple moves to try to find some space, but Brown was right there to bring him down.
And he got collapsed up between 2 Carmel defenders there. Lucky there's no entry on that play.
It's going to be no gain or loss, or actually a gain of 3. So 4th and 7, but Carmel will be getting the ball. Atticus Klaus at the Carmel 30 right now. Punt is up. Klaus will call the fair catch, but muffs the ball. Ball is still loose and looks like Noblesville falls on it. No ruling yet. And they're going to give the ball to Noblesville.
That's number 3. 3 fumbles, 2 on punt returns already, keeping our consistent rate of 2 turnovers a quarter alive.
I mean, Klaus called the fair catch. He had the room. It looks like he just came up to the spot and just kind of dropped it. It's just like his mind went off catching the ball and was kind of just looking ahead, even though he didn't even have to run. Once again, mental errors are dictating this football game. And with 5:49 to go, Noblesville moved up into their own territory and are given new life.
And now, Noblesville, another pass play, but he's pressured again, almost
Stays
brought down.
on his feet, but a couple guys still going at it. And Gremmel is hard to bring down. Wilby looks like a gain of 1, but that should have been a sack.
Lost a shoe in the process, but Gremmel still didn't go down.
That just goes to show you how much of a fighter Grant Gremmel is. He had to try to make a play, and even though he didn't make one, he's saved the team from having a big loss, and it'll only be about 2nd and 12.
And now it's going to be even harder. I mean, every time they get closer, it seems like there's just another setback.
5:08 to go, and the ball's loose. Bad snap. Gremmel's going to have to go, and he's wrapped up there by Joey Schmidt and Vance Raudebush. Noblesville's going to be moving way back.
I mean, just moving in reverse, lost that entire first down that they had just gained.
3rd and long for the Millers, and let me, make a correction on that. 3rd and very long. 3rd and 21 up here for the Noblesville Millers. And if you're Carmel, don't allow anything here. Do not let them get the first, because that would just be a killer.
And now Gremmel facing 21 yards till another first down, going for a short pass, but can't even make that connection. It seems like it hurt his hands almost on that attempted catch.
Incompletion, and that was a little bit of a low throw. Luke Blevins was the intended target, a junior. And now Carmel will get the ball back, and I'm sure that Coach here was telling Atticus Klaus on the sideline, do not drop the ball right here. He's going to be back at about the 20. And it's a low snap. He's going to have to try to punt the ball away, and it's going to be a really low punt. Fortunate bounce there for Noblesville to get it to about the 27, and that was almost disaster for Noblesville. It was a bad snap, couldn't get a hold of it, and then ended up punting just in time to prevent a block.
And fans are looking for a call on that one because Ben Leary laid out their punter as soon as he got it off, but they were on top of him.
Jason Simmons, head coach of Noblesville, is not happy with it either. And now the Greyhounds will take over at the 28. I'd really like to see a solid offensive drive. That's something we haven't seen all game, really, from either team.
And now the Greyhounds taking over the ball once again. No real offense showing up in this second quarter.
It's going to be a snap to Quigley. Quigley hands it off to Dylan Downing, and Downing is a workhorse pushing his way along for about a 5-yard gain. Dylan Downing, once again, does not go down easy.
Never does. I mean, when you have a player like that, their own pure determination guides their body more than anything else.
And now 2nd and 2, good first run there from Dylan. Quigley has options right here, has 3 wideouts lined up. Redaimel and Ellison to his left, Klaus out to the right, and Dylan in the backfield. He's going to throw right, finds Klaus, solid throw. Klaus is going to get the first down a little bit more.
Klaus got sat down on that one, thought he could redirect for a few more yards, but just thrown out of bounds by the Noblesville defender.
And really, you don't need a huge play. All you want to see is a first down, and that's exactly what they got. Good job by the Carmel offense.
And now moving the chains again, getting closer and closer to that midfield mark. Quigley back in the shotgun once again.
Quigley's going to hand it off to Dylan Downey, who's got space up the middle, keeps going, gets up to about the 36-yard line.
And at the end of that play, you saw him kind of hold on to the ball a bit harder that one.
Looks like there's a flag on the field. Let's see what this will be. But Dylan Downing showing some great strides.
And it looks like it was all for nothing as Carmel moving back once again. Every time there's a big play in this game, it just seems like it can't stand.
And, you know, an interesting thing to note is the fact that right tackle is a little bit different today, as Thor Krott, who's a sophomore and has been starting all season, is not playing tonight, out with an injury. So Saketh Gajala, a junior, playing really his first varsity minutes.
And now Quigley facing another 1st and 10, this time on the 48.
Quigley takes the snap. He's going to throw. Throws out left to Ellison. And late hit there, but will be no call. You know, I think right there, Ellison, he could have made the catch, but the throw just wasn't really placed in the right spot. Threw it a little bit too ahead of him. If Ellison was, you know, a step closer, it would have been better and would have had space to make some moves.
And Ellison almost looked like he was focusing more on accelerating on that play rather than actually moving up. And it looks like the Greyhounds are moving back even further on this one. A bit odd change of events. Seems like they didn't place the ball right the first time, and it's going to give them a 1st and 20 instead.
Very interesting situation, and I'd like to see how Carmel responds. I wouldn't be surprised if Saketh would continue to struggle at right tackle if they were to take him out, put Zach Bowman, who has played tackle before, in right tackle, and then put Sloan Goldblatt in at center if they needed. 120, going to be a handoff to Kamari Hunt. Hunt has space, beating some man, and gets out to the 26-yard line. And I don't see any flags on the field this time. Great burst of energy from Kamari Hunt.
And most likely just expecting a few yards out of Kamari on that one, but he took it into his own hands, just shot right out of the middle of that play into open space where there was no one waiting for him.
What's so funny is that Dylan, on his great run this drive, got up to the 26, 27, and that's exactly where Kamari ended up on his awesome run. And it's going to be another Kamari Hunt run up the middle. He's thinking more, gets a solid rush for about a 1st down. Good stuff from Kamari Hunt.
Kamari Hunt's hungry for a touchdown. He wants to be the first one. He's been denied on multiple attempts so far tonight.
Well, Kamari Hunt has not scored a touchdown in a long, long time. Hasn't scored one really since, you know, middle of the season, because he was out against Ben Davis, didn't have one against Warren Central, didn't have one against Lawrence Central. So
Pike?
I think it was Lawrence North.
Lawrence North, I mean, we saw a few big plays out of him at Pike, but that's his last remarkable game out of him since he's actually earned that starting position.
He's had some good runs. It just hasn't necessarily been in the end zone as of late. And now with a timeout, Noblesville will have no more for the rest of the half. This is a crucial situation for them. They really need to try to get a stop, keep it at 3-0, or, you know, maybe get a score of their own before half. But they would really like it if Carmel were not to get back on the end zone before the half.
Yeah, and with about 2:15 left, I mean, you're running out of space. You got to take advantage of momentum. Obviously, they don't want to give them much of a chance, but you got to take advantage and score while you have the chance. Don't try and waste it on eating up time and not actually benefit yourself.
If you're Carmel right here, you're thinking 6. You are not thinking 3. A field goal, as great as it is to put points up on the board, is not what you want, not what you need right now. You need a touchdown.
And Carmel with another 1st and 10 after that big Kamari pickup. Kamari still the back in Quigley in the shotgun.
Going to be a handoff to Kamari Hunt. Hunt's going to wait a little while, make some moves, gets a little bit farther. Gets about 5 yards.
And it seems like they almost stood there for a while, but